Hello everyone, welcome to Naomi's Bookshelf and welcome to my recommendations for December's Buzzwordathon books. I don't know why, I always forget what video I'm filming in the middle of filming it, but I do. So let's get into my recommendations. I will be a little late for January's because I will be on vacation during that time, so I will not be home to film, but I will get them out to you, I promise. So the first book is my Agatha Christie book, and I have chosen And Then There Were None. This is our group read for the Christie's Missing Readathon. I'll leave my announcement linked down below. And this one has the word none. It's 0 essentially, it's a number. This one's about 10 people who are abandoned on an island after being invited there under false pretenses, and they start dying and they are unable to get off the island and they have to solve it before they die. Very engaging. The first Agatha Christie I think anyone thinks of when they think of her. So enjoyable, highly recommend, and I would really enjoy it if you joined us for the Christie's Missing Readathon. Next up, we have a nonfiction, which is about Lizzie Borden, and that is Lizzie Borden, the Borden murders, Lizzie Borden and the Trial of the Century. So I'm counting century as a number here. This one is about the case of Lizzie Borden and killing her parents. If she did or didn't, it's up to you. This one goes through the beginning of the murders, like even before it, to after the whole trial was done and how things played out. It goes over all the evidence, every single step of the way, and what should have happened, what didn't happen, what should not have happened. All these different things play out in here, and you get to read it all for yourself to see if you think Lizzie Borden was murderous or not. What do you think she did? So yes, highly enjoy this one, and I think it's a very interesting true crime book that it leaves you thinking. I also have One by One by Ruth Ware. This one's very similar to And Then There Were None. I feel like it was based on it, or at least it's based on the principle of it. So this one is where a company like Spotify goes to a winter chalet or mountain chalet for the winter time for a little Christmas get together. Maybe I'm making things up. It's a winter get together at this chalet and they get snowed in, and then people start to die. I really enjoyed this one. It is so much fun if you just go into it looking for fun and looking for the ride as opposed to trying to solve a deep, dark mystery, because it's not there. It's not deep and dark, but it is really fun and highly enjoyable. A classic that I think a lot of people might be scared to try, but I really recommend, is A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. This is historical fiction set in the French Revolution, and it was one of the first Dickens I actually read and was like, wow, Dickens might be an author I enjoy, because his writing was so in-depth and so wonderful. Even though the source material was really hard at times, it was just very interesting and not as depressing as I expected Dickens to be. So I think you might like this one if you want to give Dickens a try. A nonfiction, which is really hard to read, but really important to read too, is 12 Years a Slave by Solomon Northup. This one follows a man who was born free and then captured and was sold as a slave, and he was a slave for 12 years before he escaped. I think he escaped instead of being freed, but this is about his memoir of that time, and it really shows how slavery can impact a person and how he was forced into something that he was not born into, and yet he saw the cruelties and the hardships of everyone around him, and because he was literate, he was able to write down that story. So a very powerful story, really impactful, and I highly recommend, even though it is really hard to read. I'm putting on the Agatha Christie here because of the Christie's Missing Readathon, but another one you could read is the short story collection, which is 13 for Luck. This one features Poirot, Marple, Harley Quinn, and Mr. Parker Pyne. I have read this. It's a very old and tattered edition, but it is really a short story collection. I think 13 stories in total. My edition is just so old, but it is one of my first that I got, and I will value it forever for that. Yeah, if you're interested in testing the waters with Agatha Christie, maybe try this one. A play that I would recommend would actually be a series of play by William Shakespeare, which is the Henriade. So that covers Richard II, Henry IV, Henry V, Henry VI, and Richard III. So they are all with numbers in the title. And these are really interesting historical fiction plays on how the War of the Roses impacted people and what Shakespeare imagined of that time, because it is historical fiction. I would recommend watching The Hollow Crown by the BBC. That was such a brilliant two-season series about this play and how they interpreted it. It was amazing. But I would recommend reading these because they're quick and easy. And honestly, you get a little Shakespeare in your life. What's wrong with that? Always the drama there. A mystery that I would recommend that is not, I don't know, it's not my type of thing typically, but it is based on an Agatha Christie, which is number 10. It's just the number 10 as the title. I'll show the picture here. So I think it's Gretchen McNall. This one is a YA inspired And Then There Were None retelling. So it's about 10 teenagers who are on a little island house for a party and things start going down. Really cool. And I really enjoyed that. In spite of me not loving YA, it was a really good one. And I liked the Agatha Christie nods. A contemporary young adult book that you might be interested in would be 19 Minutes by Jodi Picoult. This one is about a school shooting and it follows 19 minutes of the school shooting, but the storytelling is really interesting as it goes like 2 years before the incident, 19 months before that, or 10 minutes before the incident. And it keeps like jumping back and forth until you get the full picture of what's happening to cause the school shooting and to what triggered this boy into doing this. And then it even goes after at points. Sorry for the dying camera or lack of storage. So my last recommendation I have read is 206 Bones. This one's by Kathy Wright. This one is based, what the Bone series is based on, this book series. And I find them enjoyable and really easy to read and really fun mysteries. So if you're interested at all in the original source material behind the TV show, check out the books. So for me, I will be definitely reading one book in particular, which is Towards Zero by Agatha Christie. This is my pick for the Christie's Missing Readathon for a new book to me with a superintendent battle in it. But zero is a number and I am very happy that they coincide. So I get to read a superintendent battle for the Buzzwordathon and for my readathon of the Christie's Missing Readathon. Tongue twister right now. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment down below what number you're reading, like what title, what the number you're reading, or any recommendations for this prompt. I am very excited that you are supporting my channel, so thank you so much. You can, like I said, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.